But
So you talked about like you were kind of DIY before that was really even a thing, right? This was all DIY. So talking about being independent and then coming up with an idea and then saying, you know what, I'm independent. If I want to do this, I can do this. But at the same
yep,
time, we've been talking about marketability and how important that also is as an artist. Those can butt heads sometimes. When
it did.
you know what I
It
mean?
did. Yeah, it 100% did. There were when I released Just Getting Started, I had some fans that did not like it because it was not traditional country.
Right.
It was not what they expected me to put out there. But then I gained so many more
That's right.
fans by putting it out there. And
Mm-hmm.
then those fans went back and listened to my older music and they're like, whoa, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
This is so different from this. But they enjoyed it. And then eventually, those fans who were used to one thing, they kind of hopped on board and they're like, okay, that's a good record.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I even had friends who worked with William Morris Talent Agency, and I had known Mark Rader since I was a teenager. And he called me one day after I sent him that CD in the mail. He said, "I actually have this in my car, and I've had it in my car for 2 weeks straight. I love this record. I love this record." And I was like, "Great, help me get a record deal, please." Uh, and I did have some fans that didn't like it, like Switzerland. I play overseas quite a bit. I have over the years, and my fans in Switzerland did not like my Just Getting Started album, and they were letting me know that this was not what they expected and what they wanted. And I'm like, fine, pay for my next record, and I'll make that traditional country. Whatever you want. But I just had to do something different creatively to get out of the same monotonous thing that I was doing. It didn't feel creative anymore. And I
Mm-hmm.
was hitting a low, like a rut. It just didn't feel like what I needed to do.
Well, not
And
only that, but it allows you to play other rooms. It allows
right,
more, a wider variety of rooms that you can play to. Um,
exactly.
and that's important, extremely important as an independent artist that you can market yourself to multiple audiences, and you've been able to
Well,
cultivate that.
and at that time, Rolling Stone was the precursor to Just Getting Started. So it was kind of easing people into, hey, she's kind of rocking here a little bit. What's going on? I don't know how I feel about that. But it was more like 70s rock
Mm-hmm.
blended with traditional country
Mm-hmm.
because I really like that 70s rock. I love the Allman Brothers. And I've had the honor to be on stage with them at Farm Aid, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi. And that was a highlight of my career for sure because I was like, I can't believe I'm standing here. This is amazing. But I love that sound. I like that swampy Southern rock sound. So Rolling Stone, that's what encompassed that. And then I tried Just Getting Started, which was more pop country, but not, I wouldn't call it bubblegum pop because I wasn't a teenager. I had lived life. At that point, I had divorced from my first ex husband. And then I met my second ex husband a year later. Uh, and we started dating and then we got married and then we had Heidi and Henley. And it was just, I couldn't sing about teenage things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been through some pretty rough times.
And
And
sometimes your influences have to come from outside the state of Texas in order for you to branch out artistically, right? Like you have to bring more into your art so that way more people can hear about you as well, I think.
mhm,
You know?
yeah, traveling has helped me tremendously.
Right.
When I was 18, I went on a DoD tour, Department of Defense, which is like a USO,
Mm-hmm.
for 3 months in the Pacific Rim with a band.
Wow.
That was insane. We went to Japan, Korea, Guam, Okinawa, Kwajalein, Johnston Islands. Um, it was one heck of a ride. It was very that is a story in its own. But all of that travel has influenced my culture, who I am, how I feel about the world, how I feel about people. I mean, here's the deal. I absolutely love people so much, and I
Mm-hmm.
love my fans, and a lot of my fans have literally become like family for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this couple that I know, she's an OB, a doctor. She's amazing, Jane Reed, and she delivered one of my children.
Wow.
And she was a fan in the beginning. And then they traveled with me. They went to Farm Aid twice. They went to Willie's Picnics, and they had a bus. And so they let me use their bus at these events. So I didn't have to lease a bus. But we've had all these adventures, and all that was because I met them, through other fans. I met them on the road. It's all about being out there, and
Everything's connected, right? Like
it is.
everything is connected to something else that's happened to you. First of all, I think you should write a book. Honestly, like you should write a book. I think it would go very very well. I'd be one of the first to read it. I think it'd be an amazing story. First of all,
Besides a cookbook, right?
no, not. Hey, if you want to put some recipes in there too, I mean, I'm a fat guy, so I mean, it's all good.
I have I did publish a cookbook, but I I have actually I did a treatment for a movie about my life, and it got put on hold because of the strike, the actors strike,
Yeah, yeah.
or the industry strike. And so it's just sitting there. I don't know if it's going to come to fruition or
I think it'd be
not. We'll
cool.
see.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah, I
So
like your idea.
yeah, I'm sitting here listening to you talk and watching your eyes light up when you're talking about certain things, and it's just very interesting to me. Maybe it's just me, but I'm a curious kind of guy.